let's go back to the Qantas story, and Nick Dole joins us now from Sydney International Airport. Nick, good morning. What is the situation there?
Well, it's been very quiet so far, Michael, although a steady stream of people are now beginning to arrive at the terminals. Some of those are for Qantas link flights, which of course hasn't been affected by these groundings. But there have been probably a dozen or so people walking around the terminal still hoping to jump on a flight at some stage this morning. So it seems they haven't got the message that there's no way that's going to happen. We were speaking to a group of guys from the United Kingdom who said they have been rebooked on flights around 1 o'clock, a flight to Cairns, they said, and they were hoping to get on that. So, as you mentioned, Qantas says mid-afternoon at the earliest, but it appears they are making plans to put flights into the sky earlier than that.
We'll stay there, Nick. We'll go now to Melbourne International Airport, where reporter Kirsten Vaness joins us. Kirsten, good morning again. How are things unfolding there?
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, look, more people are starting to come through to the Qantas terminals now compared with an hour ago, but still really it is very quiet. I have to say most of the people are actually just queuing up at the service desk trying to find out what's going on, whether their flight's even coming and what time it may leave. Now, earlier I mentioned a QF flight to Wellington this morning that a couple of people said they were told it would be leaving. That flight is a Jet Connect flight, so perhaps that's why it's leaving early in the morning when we've been told that Qantas is hoping for this afternoon to get its flights back in the air.
And Kirsten, you've been speaking to, I'd say it's fair to assume, potentially confused Qantas passengers.
Yeah, that's right. I had a word to some of the passengers just a moment ago.
Yeah, going okay. Meant to be going out to Alice Springs, but only going there to work, so they can keep me here as long as they like.
I'm a doctor in the small town of Carruthers, which, as you can understand, is very remote. So there's only one flight from Melbourne. So I flew in from Auckland yesterday, got stranded here, and then they rescheduled me for this morning, and I kept fingers crossed that the board would sort everything out, and they didn't do it in time, so I'm cancelled again. But I think this lovely lady's going to sort me out now. So Qantas the staff have been excellent. I've been very happy with the service I've been getting. But it is frustrating.
Man, it's been a couple days here of hardship, but no, they're taking care of us. They're doing a good job. They're going to make it happen.
Some passengers there at Melbourne Airport. Let's go back to you, Nick Dole, in Sydney. Now, it's fair to assume Qantas staff have been doing all they can to help passengers at Sydney. It's fairly quiet at the moment, but they'd be having some contingency planning for an expected deluge of passengers once those flights get back in the air.
Well, certainly, Michael, and even before those flights are due to depart, there will be many people arriving here at the airport. Of course, if they were up late last night, they would have heard the news that Qantas was returning to the skies, and if they were monitoring the media at all this morning, they would have seen that Qantas is planning to fly again. Some of the people we've spoken to this morning are really just hopeful that being here will somehow give them some sort of a priority or some better chance of jumping on a flight, but it seems the delays will continue for many hours to come at least.
OK, Nick Dole at Sydney Airport and Kirsten Vaness at Melbourne Airport, thank you both very much for those updates.